Get going here in a sec, guys. Let's get everything set up right now. Everyone's having a good one. To be live on YouTube as well as Twitter, so we'll see how it all gets set up. Okay. A little bit inefficient here this morning, but we'll be good in a second. What's going on? What's going on? Definitely the first time I've had it live on YouTube, so see how it works out over there. I mean, on Twitter. I really wanted to work on Twitter, so it's like been the goal for a while to get working on Twitter. So we will see. And obviously we have it live on the second YouTube channel. So this is where I'll probably be doing the lives from now on as far as on YouTube. I would like them to stay over here on the second YouTube channel. You'll be able to go back and watch them over here. I'll keep them posted over here so you have them always. But yeah. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. But they'll be over there. Won't have to delete them, take them off. Nothing along those lines. One second. We should be good. Typically, we'll start probably around 7 a.m., 7:15. But at my son's school this morning, so yeah. Cool. I think we're good to go. There we go. Sorry, restreaming to 5 different places is not fun. I'm not gonna lie. We should be good now. I'm probably not gonna read any TikTok questions though. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, let's get started. Let us begin. Let us begin. Yeah, so obviously too, if you're watching the main channel, you'll saw we kind of changed some stuff up over there. Like I'm not gonna be doing the rundowns every day on the main channel any longer. I'm just not going to. Just a lot of effort, a lot of time, not great results, which is fine. I think people just aren't as interested over there. So I'm just gonna say that primarily for either in the mornings or Discord. So pick and choose what you want to do. But yeah. Either way, we'll get started. So anyways, as you can see going into today, you're sitting at that 21.69, 21.68 level. I mean, I haven't even looked at the market since last night, kind of gap down, popping right back up. Not a really big concern. And again, kind of what I said in Discord, you're not seeing a lot of selling. Like you're just not. So, if I go back over the past, this is really funny. So let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of the drawings here. So if you go back over the past basically 3 weeks, you had your Friday, or is that 3 weeks? It's about 3 weeks. Yeah. Friday drop right here, Friday drop here, Friday drop here. And the common denominator here has been tariffs, and then more tariffs. That's been what's happened here. There's no secret formula. There's no technicals happening. There's nothing along those lines. It's literally just tariffs being talked about, tariffs and tariffs, or you deep seek tariffs, right? And so that's what took place there. And you're seeing that even on Friday, and this was something that was really big in talking about. It was like Friday was a terrible day to continue trading. Like you had your pre-market market open too, like into moving pretty decent, pretty fair, right? But like giving you an example, like I had one trade, that was it, and I called it out pre-market. So again, just giving you like a visual of when I trade, why I trade, when I don't want to trade, right? So Thursday after close, I got some Nvidias. Those went up 20% plus overnight. And then obviously going into Friday, I think Jay traded Tesla to the downside. I didn't trade anything else, but I had pre-market looking at Meta here at 8:24. So 6 minutes before market open, watching Meta amount 707, 708, pushing to 711, 713, 716, then all-time highs, which you did, right? That was it. There was nothing else I was interested in, right? And why primarily is because you get this open, right? 7:30, out for pre-market right now, basically. Good moving to open and then just drop, right? And so that's really what took place, what happened. There's nothing really secret there. So when you get that type of action, it's just you can't do nothing. And there was no real increase or steady selling here. This was just every time Trump said anything, you drop more. Like that was the gist of it. Like you had some steady dropping into the end of the day, but like the volatility, like, and this is another thing. Like when you get this type of action, this is a 5-minute chart, by the way, so giving you a visual. So for 30 minutes, you basically ranged in between 21,621 and highs of like 21,750. $100 is back and forth, back and forth. Like very tough to trade that, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. So again, about putting yourself in good situations, and in my opinion, that was a terrible, terrible situation. So yeah. We'll go over a few equities here in a second as well, but I need to cover futures first. I might wait until market open or a little bit until market open for futures. So maybe like 8 o'clock to cover futures. But so far, and again, here you have ES coming back into your monster level here as well. Let me know if the mic audio is loud enough as well. I can turn it up. But yeah, so you're coming back into that major level again, 21 or 6111, 6110, give or take. It's a monster level. We've been tracking that on Twitter as well. But as where we're at to start the day, Dow probably one of the weaker ones, probably. But even then, like I said, Dow, I mean, you're really just you're trading a range. Like that's what's happening here. You're getting bad news on a Friday, bad news on Friday, bad news on a Friday, and you're just bouncing again from basically those little lows there. That's what's happening. 44.1, 44K. That is exactly what is happening. Again, no reason to overcomplicate, confuse, whatever it may be. That is what I'd be watching specifically. Moving on a little bit further, we can go into equities. I don't want to go too far into them because I want to definitely see if we continue up. But yeah, Nvidia still holding up. 1/3. I'm telling you, Nvidia is probably my favorite name right now. I've said it a lot. I think you have room into 133, 136, and then targeting back into 141. Going to where 141 really stems from as well. You can see here. I post this on Twitter. I don't know how many times. But yeah, it's your previous high here from July. In my opinion, that's like your line in the sand, 140.8, give or take. You're really watching that as well. So yeah, I'm definitely be watching NVIDIA today. Looks really good. AVGO, another pretty impressive name. If AVGO and NVIDIA run together, typically you've gotten the NASDAQ moving very strong as well. So another thing I would be watching there. As of right now, you have AVGO back into 229. On Friday as well, mentioned a handful of times here in Discord. AVGO, probably one of my weakest names along with Tesla. Yeah, so man, we mentioned it even before this. Sorry, let's go. Where do we mention it? Yeah. So before we even broke down below 127.5, we said the break and retest was the best play probably. You eventually broke. It took you forever. You sat here, ranged, broke, retested, died, right? That's what happened there. So, yeah. Thoughts on Google? I've mentioned Google a handful of times. I said between 180, I think 188 and 185 was a buy. You had a little bit of a wick down. I mean, if you stay above 186, I think it's a decent opportunity. It's definitely one of the weaker names here. Am I buying options on it? No, not for me. If you hold back above 192, I think options start to make sense. But until then, I'd be careful. Do what you want to do, but that's what I'm doing. So, yeah. Another big name here as well. Tesla's still looking. Yeah, Tesla's still dropping down 659. Gross, terrible, looks awful. One of the worst names out there right now. Tesla, the level I was targeting was back into your previous little ascending triangle you had here, if you remember. So again, if you don't remember, you had your ascending triangle formed out here. You had your highs here. This is where we traded the breakout into highs. Awesome push there. But now you are coming back into this range. You start to lose 360, 359, 358. you get into the territory of like where sellers start to really lead the pack here. So again, what I'd be watching, looking for Tesla getting below this. That being said, I don't think there's amazing trade opportunities here on Tesla. Like maybe you start to really trade the short side back. You have the gap down 345. Where things get really interesting on Tesla and you have a ways to go, but is getting back below 309, 310, below 310, 309. I mean, that's a fantastic looking short. Like at that point, personally, like that's where I get excited. Back down to 270. That's a really awesome looking trade. We saw that clear breakout there that we had. So it's gonna be the question of there's a lot of time until then. So again, we'll have charts posted, things like that too. Meta back at all-time highs, basically 720. Meta and Netflix are the all-time high runners right now. Definitely be watching those guys. Definitely look really good. Meta's holding up. Again, Meta holding back above 717. I'm a fan, but yeah, pushing back into highs looks really good. Whereas Netflix here, 1022, looks fine there as well. Again, I'm not really interested in anything at all-time highs currently. There's not that many setups I like there. Microsoft still seeing some weakness. 414 is a big level. Be careful there. So again, you get back above 414, you have room back in like 417, give or take. Definitely interesting. CrowdStrike, one of the biggest names I've been talking about as well. We said when they had the big dip, with the data breach, whatever it was, right, that this was probably one of the best buys on the year. Congratulations if you got it. CrowdStrike still looks pretty amazing, like bull flagging at highs. Post this on YouTube, Twitter, definitely called it in Discord as well. But the breakout here has been nothing short of incredible here as well. No questions or anything. If you guys don't have questions, I'm going to go into features. I'm going to just go over this real quick, type it out for Discord. If you guys have questions, you can ask while we're here. But yeah. Yeah, Nasdaq looks really good here. Where is your 50? Sell at 606. Had to make sure. Your 52 has been pretty big on Nasdaq. Definitely, if you start seeing any selling, you want to be watching your 60 or your 50 MA. It's been a brick wall as of recently. Things been tough, to say the least. Thing has been tough. But yeah, I mean, honestly, right now you're just running. You're road running right now. Okay. What are your thoughts on Hood with earnings tomorrow? I don't care about earnings. I mean, I assume Hood's earnings will be decent because of crypto over the past quarter, but I don't trade earnings. I think I've said the same thing for 3 years, 3 years now. Yeah. So I think you're trading earnings. Like best of luck to you. You're gambling. You're getting dice and you're just rolling them. So best of luck to you, brother. But I mean, maybe they'll do good. I don't care. I have no skin in the game there. Robinhood looks good. It's been one of the best calls on the year for sure. But yeah, there's no. I don't even know what the expected move here. I mean, you're basically like in your. I mean, I wouldn't say this is all time high territory yet because all time highs are up here like 84, 85, right? But I mean, there's nothing here. You have nothing to target. So yeah, I mean, it's proven to be a great name. But besides that, like you can't do nothing with it. Like you're playing with fire at this point. Definitely more interested in like if I'm going like a crypto name for earnings or something that's benefited off of crypto, I think Coinbase is probably the more interesting name. But again, I don't even know what Coinbase's earnings are. Don't even know. You're still making the one thing about ES is you're still clearly making lower highs. So the next 610 test will be big. The next one will be important. Coins on 13th. Yeah, like so the coins to me it's more interesting just based on how crypto is kind of doing here. So yeah, I mean Bitcoin's a really interesting chart here as well. Like if you go to Bitcoin on the 4 hour, the daily, like pretty remarkable that you're just kind of consolidating at all-time highs. Pretty wild. I mean, if you ever break 93, 94K, like that'd be bad. But so far, like, I mean, this is a great chart. This is, I don't know how you could look at the crypto chart and be like, this looks bad. So I don't know. I look at Coinbase. MicroStrategy a little bit scary for me just because it's so volatile. But yeah, Coinbase can ever mountain back above 287, 288 and have decent earnings, which I think their earnings will be good. I think it's going to have a good move, but we'll see. I'm not going to trade Coinbase earnings, so understand that. And if I was going to trade Coinbase earnings, I would buy stock. That's what I would do. Just to let you know. What's my view of AMD? I literally made a YouTube video on it on the main channel, so you can go just check that out if you want. There's really not much else I could possibly say about AMD. So that's why I made a dedicated video. So when people ask me these questions now, you can just go watch the video. It literally says AMD. So there you go. It's 11 minutes of me talking about AMD. But yeah, good question though. Also, too, guys, if you are interested, I always forget to like shout them out. If you're interested in trading futures, the My Funded Futures link is down below somewhere, so you can check them out. They do have this sale right now on, I think it's expert accounts. I don't know, but yeah, use code HEFE if you want to get the 30%, 25% discount, whatever it may be. Yeah, you're still coming into this 2177. This is like another really interesting point. 2177. Yeah, so finding levels isn't always easy. I will say that. Like finding typically they're pretty easy to spot out. But like 2177 level, if you're in Discord, sometimes you'll hear me and Jay go back and forth of like, Tyler is, he's freestyling again, he's doing this, he's doing that. Or I'll be like, Jay, I don't know where you got that level. And sometimes you have to put in a little bit more work to find where your levels may be, spot if they're like actually levels, things along those lines. 2177 here on NASDAQ, I think is a great example of that. Goes back, in my opinion, to like basically December this year, to where you saw the wick. So the wick here, kind of saw how he just developed through there. And then more recently going into this week, is you really saw that respect. It was kind of like one of our big focal points of trading this week, right? So you saw like that clear mount there, right here, especially you get back below, kind of chop. This was terrible action to trade, double bottom there and push back up and get the retest. Great move. But yeah, so you really have to go back and kind of go over it. I will say though, longer dated levels are typically more respected. So if I can go back and find a level from, 2021, all like previous all-time highs or July highs, right? Though that's gonna be a more respected level that I will watch way more than this level, but giving you a heads up too. So, but it's funny that we're sitting there right before market open. Hey man, what do you think about Eli Lilly? Looking good for the move up. View on it. I haven't looked at Eli Lilly since earnings. I know their earnings were good. Sitting at resistance 882. It's funny as well in Discord. Someone asked me about this. Eli Lilly. One sec. Someone literally asked me about this chart. What day was it on? I might not have said the ticker. But I know for sure someone asked me about it. So let's just see the question. Did I not? This was the old chart when you were dipping down. This is from the 18th. I don't know where the question was. Someone asked me about it for sure in Discord. I can't find their. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. I responded a little bit late. I remember. So yeah. So I posted the chart here. I marked out 882. You were at 870. Look where you're at now. You came into 882. You're rejecting. You got a little bit above it, but you're still back below right now. So again, the levels are working. The levels do matter, right? So this is basically and essentially exactly what you were looking for. So yeah, what I'd be looking for there right now. Nothing incredible, but still, yeah, working out. I do think it's decent because you get over this level, and I don't see much. I will say that right now. If Eli Lilly gets above 882, it's interesting. You get into territory of like you're looking for 905, 907. Looking back, and the real big level here is 940. Eli Lilly gets back above 940. I think you're probably going into all time highs. So yeah. Another big thing too is people get like really worked up on like, okay, well, you're waiting so long to get into a position or a trade. Now, Eli Lilly, don't get me wrong, you had another great opportunity down here when you mounted 807. It just wasn't something that was on my like list of stocks to watch, right? Also, you had a big move after earnings. So food for thought, right? And this goes back into what I've really been hammering home of having a plan with what you're doing with trading. When you know what's typically when you like for me looking for getting over 940, I'm not saying that I know for sure it's going to happen, but based on how I trade and statistically how I trade, I know when we get into these areas of pretty big illiquidity, that's typically where the trade is easiest, happens the fastest, and makes me the most money. So I know when we mount like 940, it's going to be a quick move into 967, 966, right? Same thing if we get above 882. I don't think we're going to go straight into 940, but it should be a pretty volatile move in like 908, 905, right? Same thing if we mount in 807. That's the reason why I had those levels there, right? I mean, I probably would have targeted like 838 to be conservative, but still. So you kind of want to just put yourself in that position of like, where can the trade happen and develop the quickest? And then two, like, give me the best opportunity to win. And I don't think that we really do that necessarily all the time. We kind of just like want to get into a trade because we love it and like we think it's strong. And I think Eli Lilly's strong, but like, do I want to blindly just buy in here? Not really. Says Upstart chart. What do you think, Tyler? They got earnings tomorrow. I don't. So again, like when a name runs, like Upstart was a really good name that like we traded. Like I mentioned it all this past year as one of my top mid cap names. Like go rewatch the tape. It outperformed, to be honest. So I mean, all I was really looking for was like back into like 70 give or take, and you did it. So like I'm less interested here. We'll see if earnings go well and you mount $73. It's a play back into highs maybe, but right now I mean, again, like I'm not being rude, but like I could look at this chart for 4 seconds. I could realize, okay, you're below previous highs here. Not a buy. Totally illiquid back to the downside, at least like in a 50. Pretty scary. Like probably don't touch this before earnings. But yeah. You see Kanye's tweets. I am not. Dear God, I should have read that one first. But anyways. Sorry guys, I messed up. I accidentally hit the back button on my mouse. Share screen, share window, Upstart. Cool. Super. But anyways, how do I deal with not trading? It's a TikTok question. I mean, I just don't trade. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, if you find yourself having to trade all throughout the day, you might be an addict, like a gambling addict. Like you probably don't view trading as trading. You view it as like an addiction. Now, I understand if you're trading like futures and you're trying to get funded. I get that. Like you want to just knock it out, get it done. Like that makes logical sense. But like if you're funded already, you shouldn't feel the need to trade every day. That doesn't make too much sense. So yeah, I'm not a degenerate. I try not to be. So yeah, not too much else I can really say there. Look at that wick too on Dow. I was telling, dude, what a wick down to your 50 MA. Again, this is why I always say too, if you're gonna use indicators, like the ones that like I think are kind of non-negotiable that you won't really use every day, you really won't use them every day. But like grab your 50 daily moving average, your 100 daily moving average, your 200 daily, and then your 200 weekly, maybe even your 100 weekly, and just throw them in the background of your chart, flick them on real quick, and then turn them back off so you don't have to see them. But like this is a great example. So overnight we get that gap down, come right into your 50 SMA, which is where you bounced 3 times now on the Dow. Look at that 1, 2. I mean, like I'm just saying, like, I mean, talk about a trade. Talk about an easy futures trade, right? The risk reward totally there. Like, pretty awesome reaction. So, again, if there's anything that like any indicator like that, I think that like is you should have it on all times. Definitely some of your moving averages, even if you just want to have the 200 and 100. That's also fine. Sec. Sorry, I gotta post this. Yeah, Dow might be like the easiest trade of the day, to be honest. Really might. But so far, Nasdaq looking good. Nasdaq looking fine, just chilling here. Opinions on CPI, PPI. What do you mean? What type of question is that? It's a very broad question. You gotta elaborate, brother. You have to elaborate. If you elaborate, I can answer. If not, cannot answer. There were puts that were being bought. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that question is. You asked me thoughts on CPI, and you asked me about some options. Eurospec, I still don't know what you're asking. You're asking, I'm just saying, you said it depends on CPI, by the way. And then you said, you're asking like about, I don't know if you're asking about CPI still here or what, but there's nothing that's changed on data. The only thing that's changed is Trump mentioning tariffs, which that shouldn't impact anything for a little bit of time. So, but yeah, the only thing that's negatively impacted us at all has been tariffs. There's been no real negative impact on anything else, to be totally honest. Tariffs have been the only thing that have like scared the market, showed any weakness in the market. Yeah, that has been it. Could it continue? For sure. Like I think that's why I keep telling people, like you kind of have to get out of trades, like have trailing stops, whatever it may be, because like no one can predict what Trump is going to say. Like Trump could come out today and say that, we've reached a deal with China. Like, I mean, unlikely, but could. Like, I didn't think he was going to have a deal with Mexico in a day, but he did. Or at least an opening to it. It was wild. That was only what I was wearing. Curious to see what others are thinking. No worries. But yeah, there's nothing else that's really, in my opinion, that's impacting inflation. Inflation data still looks really good. But yeah, Tesla still seeing sellers here is pretty concerning. Tesla does do the inverse occasionally, to where you'll just go the total opposite way of everything else. But so far, Tesla looks pretty horrible. Also, not interested in Apple until you can get back above like. I don't think at 233 is interesting. I really don't. I don't even think here. People that are trying to trade Apple right now, it makes no sense to me. If you're trying to buy stock, then I can understand like buying stock. But like trying to trade options on Apple, to me, is just one of like the craziest illogical trades that you could have right now. Makes zero sense. Literally 0 cents. Daily. Yeah, so you have your 200 daily right here. Are you on it right now? No, you're not. It's right here, 221. You got pretty close to it before. That's when I bought last time, was down here. I mean, if you get close to your 200 daily on Apple, like in my opinion, it's a buy, right? But like, yeah, buying in between these ranges to me is dumb. It makes 0 sense. You haven't really had a showing of strength at all from Apple, and I don't know how long. So definitely one of the concerns for me is this Apple is not showing any real consistency or strength here. So I'd be really careful on Apple. I would be steering clear as of right now. As of now. Another talking another talking people really don't mention is Reddit. Dude, incredible run. Probably one of the best runs too. One of the better calls we had on the channel. That break over 75, dear God. They have earnings coming up too. I'll be watching their earnings for sure. Could be really interesting there. Time is it? It's almost 8 o'clock. I'm probably gonna wrap the stream here at 8 o'clock. Again, I'm gonna try to aim to do the lives around 7 a.m. to be honest, 7:15, like 45 minutes of live. But yeah, so I'll take a few last questions if anyone has any between all the live streams. If not, then I'll be done. Costco's at all-time highs, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not doing anything at Costco up here. Like, you can't do nothing with this. So kind of bull flagging at highs. Take it for how it is. Like, I mean, it looks good, but I'm not buying up here. That's crazy. How easy is it to get a funded account? I mean, typically on Top Step, it's 2 days. My funded futures, I try not to get funded in a day. I just find myself taking too many trades. So do what you gotta do. XRP pumping. XRP is not pumping. QUBT. What is that? Assuming this is a quantum name. Yeah, it looks pretty shit. Not interested in that one. Yeah, pretty trash. You got stuck. You got stuck in a trash name, man. I'm sorry. But yeah, Nvidia is a top chart here of the day. I think Nvidia, you're looking for like 133, possibly 135. Crazy. Looks really good. I think Nvidia is the strongest name out of here. Clear bull flag all day on Friday. You broke out to end the day. Most impressive chart by far. Most impressive chart of the day is Nvidia. I'd be targeting that breakout at least 133. That's what I'd be looking for. So, anyways, have a good one, guys. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.